Okay, ma'am. There is two type of corporate restructuring. First one is financial restructuring and organizational restructuring. In financial restructuring, it may take place due to the server fall in overall sales because of the adverse economic condition. Here, the corporate entity may, after its equity pattern, debt servicing schedule, the equity holdings, the cross holdings pattern, all these is done due to sustain the market and the profitability of the company. Um, in simple word, we can say that कि हमें फाइनेंशियल गेन करने के लिए हमें कैपिटल चाहिए होता है. मतलब कि जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल फ्लिपकार्ट ने मिंत्रा के साथ कोलैब कर लिया, रिलायंस ने नेटवर्क 18 के साथ कोलैब कर लिया, तो ये सब हमें फाइनेंशियल गेन करने के में हेल्प करता है. Second one is organizational restructuring. Organizational restructuring implies changes in organizational structure of the company, such as reducing its level of hierarchy, redesigning the job position, downsizing the employees, and changing the reporting relationship. In which organizational restructuring uh, organizational restructuring is a type of is done to cut down the cost and pay off outstanding debt to continue with the business operation in some manners. In type of corporate restructuring, there is two more type, which is market restructuring and technological restructuring. In market restructuring, we have to come with new ideas with our product. We have to sell more and more product and enter in a new market and something else. And fourth one is technological restructuring, in which we have to learn about we have to learn more about new technological come like uh, l- like which help in increasing in financial organizing and marketing. It is next topic. Sambhav. Third top Third topic is reason for corporate restructuring. And there is mainly three reasons for corporate restructuring. First one is change in a strategy. The management of the distressed entity attempt to improve its performance by eliminating its certain division subsidiaries which do not align with the core strategy of the company. The division or subsidiaries may not appear to fit strategically with the company's long-term vision. Thus, the corporate entity decide to focus on its core strategy and dispose of such assets to the potential buyers. Next. Second one is lack of profit. And the undertaking may not be enough profit making to cover the cost of capital of the company, may cause economic losses. The poor performance of undertaking may be the result of wrong decision taken by the management to start the division, or the decline in the profitability of the undertaking due to the changes in a customer need of increasing cost. Third, third one is reverse synergy. This concept is a contrast to the principles of synergy, where the value of merged unit is more than value of individual unit collectively. According to the reserve synergy, the value of an individual unit may be more than the merged unit. This is one of the common reasons for divesting the assets of the company, and the concerned entity may decide that by diverging a division to a third part can fetch more value rather than owning it. That's it. Next topic will be discussed by Sambhav. Hello, ma'am.
Thank you, Dristy, to give me this
Ma'am.
opportunity.
Sambhav can start.
Yes, ma'am. My topic is characteristics of corporate restructuring. First point, there are lots of points. Some points are here. First point is to improve the balance sheet of the company by disposing of the unprofitable division form of its core business. Its point simply stated that it's disposing of unprofitable assets is a means of disposing of asset reorganization in such a way to sales of unprofitable assets liability and clear the balance sheet of our business. And second point is staff reduction. By staff reduction in such a way by closing down the sales of the unprofitable portion. It occurs when an employee institute a mass reduction terminate of employee in an effort to reduce the cost. And third point is change in corporate management. It simply stated that it is defined as the method of manner in which company describe and implement changes within the both both the internal and external or of the organization. And fourth point is disposing of the underutilized asset as such as business patent rights. Its point simply stated that removing of long-term assets from company and accounts records. Last point is reorganizing functions such as marketing, sales, and distribution. This this point is state that to organize all the all the marketing, sales, and distribution again and again in a new way and with a new technology and innovation. My second part is importance aspect to be considered in corporate restructuring strategies. First is legal procedure. Legal procedure, the law prescription to means the enforcing right of proceeding reduce wrong companies rules and regulations pertaining evidence executive and judgments. And second point is accounting aspect. If accounting is a way of assessing of liabilities, cash flow, balance sheet in such a way to clarify our business, to communicate the result of business operations and management and shareholders, creditors, bank, finance, etc. And third point is human and culture signage. It attains to bring two or more culture in our organization. The in other words, we can say that the first company maybe have to create a way of doing business, and second company may handle the things to be done to be good or bad in our organization. The fourth point is valuation and funding. The valuation means how much the business is worth for, and the funding is how much is the invested in it into it. And second last point is taxation as stump aspect. It is legal to pay in a full of evidence for organization for purchase and sale of any goods, raw material, etc. And last point is competition aspect, etc. Competition aspects. Competition aspect is a scenario where different economic firms are in a content to obtain goods that are limited, such as product mix, as a price, promotion, place, etc. A third part is types of corporate restructure. First is merger. This this is the this is a concept where two or more business entity merge together by way of absorption and amalgamation of by forming a new company. The merger or two more business entities is generally done by exchanging of securities between acquiring the target company. We we simply state we in other words we can say that there are two types of merger known as amalgamation and absorption. When the two companies joined together and form new company is known as amalgamation. And the second part is absorption. Absorption, in other words, we can say that one or more company absorbed by another company is known as absorption. And demerger. Demerger is some just like opposite of merger. Here we see under this concept, restructuring strategy, two or more companies are combined into a single company to get the benefit of synergy arising out of such a merger. This is way. And third part is disinvestment. When a corporate entity sells out of liquidates an assets or a subsidiary, it is known as divestiture. Divestiture, takeover and acquisition. Under this strategy, the acquiring company takes all over control of the target company. It is known as acquisition. It is something uh, like merger and all. Last point is joint venture. Under this strategy, the entity is formed by two or more companies to undertake financial act together. This entity create is called the joint venture. Both the parties agree to contribute in ag, proportion as agreed to for a new entity as and also share the expenses, revenues, control of the company. Thank you, ma'am. And next part is done by Sonali.
Thank you, Samba. Now my topic is synergy. Synergy is the concept that allowed two or more companies to combine together and either generate more profit or reduce costs together. This company believes that combining with each other gives them more benefit than being single and doing the same. Now, um, how synergies, merger and acquisition work. And let's describe with an example. If a company A and B decide to go for synergy, then company A and B merge with each other because they believe that the decision to combine will enable them to reduce costs as well as to increase profit. The reason they decide to merge with each other is that company B produce the raw materials and the company A used to prepare to finish its products. Then the company A sells, and if they merge, company A does not need to look for a vendor and sourcing of raw material. On the other hand, as the result of the merger, company B doesn't need to worry about sales and marketing. All they need to use to improve their process to produce better raw material for company A. Um, in this case, the sum of company A and B is better than individual company A and company B. Mm, and that's why we can tell this as synergies, mergers, and acquisition. Mm, Now, move the slide. Types of synergy. Um, there are two types of synergy. First is cost synergy. In this synergy, the saving in operating cost expected after the merger of two companies. Cost synergy are cost reduction due to the increased efficiency in the com- combined company. Cost synergy is the one of three major synergy types. It can be measured by comparing comparable transaction or by looking internally at each company. In this case of assessing, a bottom-up analysis can be completed to see how additional asset or operate will affect cost saving. Now the second type is revenue synergy. In this, when a result of an acquisition, the combined company is able to generate more sales than the two companies would be able to separately. Example of revenue synergy is like cross-selling, reduction of competition, access to new materials, etc. Thank you.
That's it.
It is a framework. It is a framework that is used to analyze the level of competition within in an industry. Uh, it is useful especially when starting a new business or entering in the new sector of an industry. According to this framework, competition doesn't only come from competitors. Rather, the state of competition depends on five basic forces that are threats of new entrants, threats of substitutes of products, bargaining power of buyers or customers, bargaining power of suppliers, and competitive rivalry. So the first point, threats of new entrants. New entrants brings the new capacity to an industry and desire to gain the market share. The higher the entry barrier, the lower will be the threat. And in this scenario, consumer switching costs are high, brand names are well known, and the initial investment is high. And when the entry barrier is low, there will be a high threat. And in this scenario, it is easy for competitors to enter in the market, and the initial capital investment is low. Now let's understand this point with an example. In the 1970s, the American company Harley Davidson thought that it is not easy to enter in the upscale motorcycle industry because of capital requirement and consumer loyalty. But when they didn't pay much attention, the Japanese company Suzuki came into the market and did the serious damage to Harley Davidson by providing low prices and high quality bikes. Now the next point will be discussed by Shubham.
Good evening, ma'am. So my topic is threat of substitutes of product. Increasing ability of substitutes for an industry product and service can harm organization control over the business. There can be two ways that the substitutes are low risk and the substitutes are high risk. If the substitutes are low risk, when the consumer switching costs are high, substitutes products more expensive than the industry product, and substitute performance is inferior to the alternative options. So ma'am, for example, for this ma'am, in the means of transport, the railway, Indian railway is created a monopoly in the market. The customer cannot easily switch from Indian railway to the airline and other means of transport. So for there, the switching cost is so high, so they cannot easily switch from that Indian railway. So the customer, the Indian railway IRCTC holdings cannot easily go from the other means of transport. So here the switching costs are so low. Kunal, move to the previous slide. Yeah, the threats of substitutes high risk when rivals offer more attractive or lower cost of product. Substitute product is cheaper than the industry product, and substitute performance is equal to the superior of the industry product performance. In this case, I will tell the example of telecom sector. In telecom sector, there is duopoly in the market right now. Reliance Jio and Bharti Airtel. Idea Vodafone is even not in the race because in the last quarter they booked a loss of 6,400 crore and they have a debt of 1.94 lakh crore. So they are not even in the race. The Bharti Airtel and Reliance Jio is competing right now. So in this case, if any company start giving the good offer to the consumer, they can easily switch from Airtel to Jio and Jio to Airtel. So this rivalry is going between the Bharti Airtel and Reliance Jio. So there is a duopoly in the market. The second example will be the second example will be the HDFC Securities and Zerodha. The yesterday HDFC Security introduced and published article where they said that they start charging the lower cost of interest for the brokerage firm to compete with Zerodha. So for that, HDFC Security, to increase their customer base, they are starting charging the low cost of interest rate to compete with the newcomers like Zerodha and Angel Broking. So for this, they are at this case, the customer have choice to move from one place to another place because there are more alternative options are available in the market. According to also the Competition Act 2002, there should be a proper competition in the market, that because the customer should be rewarded from that competition. If there is a monopoly or duopoly in the market, the company or organization can start charging the high price in the market, because they can easily charge a premium price from the customer, because there is no alternative and substitutes available in the market. So there should be a proper competition in the market. Thank you, ma'am.
Sonali, are you there?
Yes.
Start.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to explain bargaining power of buyers. First of all, what is power of buyers? Buying power is the capability of the buyers and the customers of the industry to influence the demand patterns, price, and the terms of purchase. When the buyers are few in number and are well organized, the buying power may be high. If the bargaining power of buyer is high, then the profit margin of the firm become low. According to Porter's 5 forces, buyer power is one of the forces that shape the competitive structure of an industry. The idea is that the bargaining power of buyer is an industry affects the competitive environment for the seller and influences the seller's ability to achieve profitability. Strong buyers can pressure sellers to lower prices, improve product quality, and offer more better services. All of these things represent cost to the seller. A strong buyer can make an industry more competitive and decrease profit potential for the seller. On the other hand, a weak buyer is one who is at the mercy of the seller in terms of quality and price, makes an industry less competitive and increase profit potential for the seller. The concept of buyer power Porter created has had a long-lasting effect in market theory. Now, buyer bargaining power is low when consumer is uneducated or don't know more about the product, purchases product in low volume or unbranded. Only one brand for the particular product is available in the market. Buying bargaining power is high if consumer is price sensitive and well educated about the product, purchases large volume of standardized product from seller, availability of substitute products in the market. For example, ITC Limited. In retail industry, big players like ITC, Future Group have large number of buyers and therefore bargaining power of buyer is limited, and therefore they can't easily get a concession from the retailer. That's all for my topic. Now, next topic will be explained by Kunal.
Thank you, Sonali. So out of these 5 subtopics of Porter's 5 forces model, mine is bargaining power of suppliers. So let's understand what is bargaining power of suppliers first. So supplier power is the capability of suppliers and vendors to influence the prices and terms of supply. It means if the supplier of the company is limited or they have scarce resources in the sense वो resources जो easily available नहीं होते हैं, और supplier switching cost is high, it means supplier को change करने की जो cost होगी वो high होगी. तो अगर इसे एग्जांपल ले तो अगर हम दूसरे supplier से raw materials लेंगे तो हमें उससे दूर से लाना होगा, उसके लिए ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट वगैरह भी लगेंगे. तो इन दिस केस सप्लायर स्विचिंग कॉस्ट इज हाई एंड मींस दे कैन इजीली इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज द प्राइसेस. लेकिन अगर इसका उल्टा होता है तो इस केस में सप्लायर की बार्गेनिंग पावर लो होगी एंड इन दिस सिचुएशन सप्लायर कांट इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज द प्राइसेस ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल्स अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम. So let's see how supplier power is low. If consumer is price sensitive and well educated about the product, अगर consumer अच्छा सही से जानता है product के बारे में, तो supplier power low होगा. तो और not highly differentiated and uniqueness in the product or availability of substitute products in the market. और ये high कब होगा supplier power? तो buyer is not price sensitive and uneducated regarding the product, or if the supplier's product is highly differentiated or only one brand of for the particular product is available in the market. And now let's understand the example of example like James hypermarket, Walmart, supermarket, James. These are example of bargaining power suppliers, like how they buy their product from large number of suppliers who have low bargaining power, and in this way they keep profit margin high. So that's all about my topic. Now next topic will be discussed by Shubham, roll 20. Shubham, are you here? Shubham? Roll 20. Am I audible?
You are, but I don't think Shubham is there.
Yes, yes. Good afternoon, all of you.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So my topic is competitive rivalry. Competitive rivalry is a measure of the extent of competition among existing firms. The intensity of rivalry among competitors in an industry refers to the extent to which firms within an industry put pressure on one another and limit each other's profit potential. Intensity of rivalry in an industry affects the competitors, affects the competitive environment, and influences the ability of existing firms to achieve profitability. Intensity of rivalry is low if competitors are few, products are differentiated, exit barrier are low, industry growth is slow, brand loyalty is insignificant. So brand loyalty is significant. For example, McDonald's and Burger King, they are known for their specialty in burger, and there are only two competitors. I mean rivalry in burger, and rivalry is high if competitors are numerous, product are undifferentiated, exit barrier are high, and brand loyalty is significant. In this, there are rivalry. In this, competition are high. For example, automobiles industry. For example, Nike, Puma, Adidas, and many more. Thank you.
Okay, so that's all about our topic. And if anyone has any queries or any question related to our topics, he or she may ask.
Any question? Any question from here? No question. Question from online? Students who are there connected?